Young people. We were all young once. But as I get older, I realize young people are not particularly smart. Welcome back to Why It Sucks, the show where I pick a motorcycle that you love and tell you why it's terrible and you shouldn't have one. Today's motorcycle is the ZX4RR from Kawasaki. Those of you who watch this channel know that I like small displacement bikes, and there's really nothing completely terrible about the ZX4. Sure, it's neutered for the American market, and it's very expensive, but all it takes is time and money, and you can be back up playing with the rest of the world. No, there is one major problem, and it's a big one. My team has put in the work, done the research, gotten all sciencey and stuff to figure it out, and what we found is that the problem with this bike is young people, more specifically their brains. In order to put this in a way that young people will understand, I put the next comment in a Gen Z translator, and I'm going to read it verbatim. Your brain ain't fully grown yet to realize how whack of a choice that is. But why is it a bad choice? You have sporty aspirations, and this bike has a power that, if you're looking at a new bike and you're a first-time rider, it's not a terribly high amount of horsepower. So you might mistakenly think this is a good bike for you, but it's not. What young people don't get is that power requires you to wring this bike's neck constantly, which is kind of the reason you buy this bike in the first place. It's heavy and it's very expensive. No new rider should be spending $10,000 on a new motorcycle. Ever. Sure, somebody's cousin's neighbor's great uncle bought a brand new Super Sport right off the showroom floor and wheelied it home. That's not you. New riders don't need anything this bike has to offer. Slipper clutch? No. Quick shifter? What are you going to do with that? ABS? Alright, I'll give you that one. You need ABS. This bike is expensive to buy, expensive to insure, and expensive to fix when you drop it when you're trying to learn how to make a right turn at a stop sign. For reference, I'm old. I got a quote to insure this bike, and it cost me 50% more to insure this than it does the 3 motorcycles I already own combined. Young people, it's going to cost you a fortune. I can't imagine going to my parents when I was in high school and saying I wanted this bike. It would just never happen. What you're supposed to do as a young person, what people used to do, was you would find a Ninja 250 that had been dropped a couple times, $1,500. You buy it, you ride it for a season, you sell it for $1,500. Now, the world's moved on, you really can't do that anymore. I looked on Craigslist and I found 2 west of the Mississippi that were under $2,000, that weren't salvaged or missing title or some nonsense like that. That doesn't really make it a viable option anymore. So what these young people need to do is find whatever cheap single or twin you can find. Doesn't matter what it is. Fuel injected might be nice so you don't have to learn how to deal with carburetors. But even carbureted, singles only have 1 carb. Trying to sink 4, you don't want to do that. But find a single or a small twin, fuel injected. Most bikes are fuel injected anymore. Find one of those for as cheap as possible, ride it, drop it, sell it to the next person. You could always get a dual sport. Dual sports are fine scratched up. Nobody's going to care if they're scratched up, but even sport bikes, if it's a cheap one, you buy it, you sell it, you're zero loss. Okay, sell it for $100 less. It's not going to matter. It was scratched up when you got it. It'll be scratched up when you sell it. Okay, I get it. You don't want to buy some used motorcycle on Craigslist that might have gremlins and you don't want to have to deal with that. What you need to do is get a Ninja 400 or a Ninja 500 instead of the ZX4. They're lighter, they're cheaper to insure by about 80%, and you can still probably sell it for close to what you bought in a season or 2 if you don't, wrap it around a tree. Plastics are still expensive, so when you do drop it, that's not going to be cheap. But the higher end ones do come with frame sliders right off the showroom floor, so if you just tip it over in the parking lot, maybe you'll save some damage. Whenever there's a new bike out, and this bike isn't even new, it's been out for a while, but whenever a new bike comes out, I always ask myself, who is this for? And I made a chart. New riders should be here on the left. Small bikes for cheap, that's what you're going for. They're fun, You can flip them for basically what you paid when you want to buy something else and you don't have room for this in the garage or your apartment parking space or wherever your living situation is. Then we move up to what new sport bike riders aspire to be, whether it's squidding out down the 405 at triple digits and flip-flops, stunning in a Target parking lot, or trying to drag a knee on your way to your local biker bar spaghetti night. This is when you realize large displacement sport bikes are terrible on the street. It's called character development. Finally, you've got to the place where our old buddy the Double R lives. You've matured to the point where you know speed isn't everything. You live close enough to a track or twisty roads not to spend time on the highway to get there. You've got some extra cash in your pocket and room left in the garage for a novelty bike you can relive your hooligan days on without the threat of speeding tickets. So if you're a young person considering the ZX4RR and want to go on Reddit and ask this question, is this right for me? Don't waste your time. The answer is no. But hey, I'm not your dad. Go ahead and buy the thing. It's not my money. But when you go to sell it because it's a terrible bike and not something that you wanted, you just wanted the look, shoot me a message and I'll buy it for half off. Hey folks, just wanted to throw in a quick channel update at the end of this video. We made 1,000 subscribers. I can't thank you enough for that. Unfortunately, I made certain commitments this time last year when I reached 100 subscribers. At 1,000 subscribers, I am going to take Booger on a trip. Booger is my 2023 Trail 125, and the reason most of you are watching this video or have subscribed to my channel. I am going to ride, or attempt to ride, 1,000 miles in 24 hours, which I will of course record and provide to all of you for your entertainment. And I'm starting to regret that, but we are going to do it. I am going to try to have another dry run done before the end of June. I may or may not film fixing the bike from when I broke it a couple months ago, but we are going to get out there. We're going to put a 13-tooth front sprocket on and fix some other things and get out on the road. Dry run by the end of March. Dry run by the end of June. Hopefully get the attempt done in July, and then it'll probably take me a month to edit because I am incredibly slow in DaVinci Resolve, and then get a video out by September 1st. So look forward to that, kind of. We're also getting Jimothy, who is my rescue dog, used to his dog goggles so we can get him on the Ural and have him ride in the sidecar. And I'm looking forward to that as well. Hopefully that'll bring some entertaining content. Jimothy is a bit of a character. So all that and more to come. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.